told your friend you're not okay.
The night in Tampa may have passed, but its echoes never truly faded. Ever since Jungkook closed the fiery stage that rocked the entire stadium, the atmosphere behind the scenes has only grown more turbulent, as if something bigger, grander, and more ambitious is underway. In the corner of the building where the management team usually gathers, soft lights are burning late into the night, signaling an important discussion that cannot wait until tomorrow. Jungkook, still wearing his stage jacket, which he hasn't taken off due to the euphoria that hasn't subsided, is summoned privately by management. No one knows what's going on, but the serious expressions on the staff already indicate that this isn't just a casual conversation. And this is where the story begins to change, not just for this concert, but for BTS's next chapter. According to growing internal whispers, HYBE has been preparing a secret plan that won't be revealed to the public anytime soon. They're waiting for the right moment, a stage large enough, and the energy to accommodate a new burst of creativity. Jungkook, with his reputation as an unwavering perfectionist, is considered the perfect person to take the lead on this massive project. He wasn't just asked to be part of the plan, but to truly be at the heart of the project. It wasn't a trust given lightly. In other words, after successfully rocking Tampa, Jungkook was given a mandate to begin bringing to life the blueprint for BTS's next concert, which was reportedly going to be far more spectacular, more personal, and more futuristic than anything they'd ever done before. Sitting in a small meeting room with a blazing monitor in front of him, Jungkook listened to a concept breakdown that left even the senior staff breathless. They talked about a stage that would change shape according to the emotion of the song, a visual system that combined immersive technology with direct interaction between the members and the audience, and a special segment that would maximize Jungkook's abilities as the main performer. This plan wasn't just about putting on a concert. It was about creating a global experience that would leave the world speechless, mesmerized, and wondering how BTS could consistently surpass their own boundaries. From the lighting details to the choreography, from the set list to the digital experience for the International Army, everything was designed to be the most ambitious concert in their history. Jungkook listened intently, nodding occasionally as he imagined the endless possibilities this ambitious project could bring. HYBE explained that they needed someone who was not only talented but possessed artistic intuition, able to read the desires of millions of fans worldwide. And they agreed that Jungkook was the man. He carried a heavy burden, but also a joy that was hard to hide. Tampa might have been the end of a legendary night, but for Jungkook, it was the beginning of a major movement that was being quietly prepared. Top K-pop team noted that the atmosphere around the event was becoming increasingly tense, yet full of anticipation. Rumors began to spread slowly, like sparks traveling from one fanbase to another. Some staff members were seen carrying prototypes of visual concepts, others clutching tightly sealed files. All of this raised one big question among ARMY. What exactly was being prepared? Why was Jungkook specifically summoned? And how big was this project that required such high levels of secrecy? Even music analysts began to speculate that BTS was preparing to create a stage that would surpass the global concert standards they had set for themselves. Meanwhile, Jungkook emerged from the meeting room with an unreadable expression, a combination of strong determination, curiosity, and a hint of unconcealed enthusiasm. He knew this was no small undertaking. It was a call to create a new chapter for the world to see. The Tampa stage had closed its story, but the lights were already turning on for the next concert. And of all the names HYBE could have chosen, Jungkook was the one given the first key to unlock that new era. As the rumors slowly surfaced, fans around the world began to feel the same wave of anticipation. There was no official announcement, no teaser, no visual leak. Just one sentence was enough to send the K-pop world into a frenzy. HYBE had handed over the secret project for BTS's next concert to Jungkook after his fiery performance in Tampa. From there, ARMY's imaginations took off in all directions. After leaving the meeting room, Jungkook walked down the long, now nearly deserted corridor. His footsteps echoed softly across the floor, his mind reeling with the various pieces of the plan he had just shared. The dimmed lights made the massive building feel different, quieter, more focused, like a place where big ideas are formulated before being revealed to the world. He didn't say anything to the staff members who passed him, but something had changed in his stride. More determined, like someone who had just assumed a responsibility far greater than he had imagined. Outside the building, the warm Tampa air still held the lingering scent of the stage and the cheers. The fans had gone home, the stadium lights had been turned off, but for the internal team, the night wasn't over yet. Managers were still discussing timelines, the creative team was exchanging notes, and the production team was discussing technical possibilities that needed to be tested before this massive project could begin. All these elements were moving like a vast mechanism slowly awakening from a long slumber. And amidst it all, Jungkook's name was a focal point, constantly mentioned in brief, urgent conversations. Upon returning to the break room, Jungkook sat alone for a moment, absorbing what he had just heard. This project wasn't just a typical concert plan. From the way HYBE presented it, it was clear they were preparing something that would set a new benchmark in the global music industry, not just for BTS, but for the entire modern concert ecosystem. Visuals that could respond to the artist's movements, an audio system designed to adjust sound dynamics in real time, and special features for international audiences. All of these required a level of precision that couldn't be rushed. However, Jungkook wasn't the type to back down when given such a significant responsibility. He knew that his role wasn't just as a performer, but as someone with a deep understanding of what ARMY wanted. He also understood that HYBE saw his potential not in his popularity alone, but in his understanding of music, the stage, and how to bring the atmosphere to life in every second of the performance. This project made him reflect on his long journey with BTS and how each stage, both easy and difficult, shaped his current artistic vision. A few hours later, the creative team contacted him again to confirm a schedule for initial discussions within the next few days. They asked for his opinion on some of the core concepts that would form the foundation of this massive project. Jungkook provided some initial notes, but he knew that every detail would require time and collaboration between various units. He smiled slightly when he saw how excited the team seemed, even as the night wore on. There was a sense of pride in seeing that dedication, the very dedication that had allowed BTS to stand alongside global musicians. Meanwhile, top K-pop began to notice a sudden increase in internal activity at HYBE after the Tampa concert. They noticed schedule revisions that were usually not made without a valid reason. Some staff members were seen coming in and out of the production room more frequently than usual. Things like this, though small, are often signs that a company is undertaking major preparations. As the initial news of Jungkook's meeting became more subtle, the narrative of the secret project gradually caught the attention of various fanbase communities. Not in the form of wild rumors, but in the form of analysis questioning what the BTS team was actually developing. In the next few days, HYBE would begin the advanced planning phase, which involved technical tests, concept illustrations, and virtual stage simulations. Jungkook will be attending most of the meetings, not to oversee, but to contribute the artistic perspective that only someone directly at the center of the stage can provide. If all goes according to plan, this project will take a long time, months, possibly more, because the scale and technology are beyond anything they've ever worked on. For Jungkook, this is a new challenge, but also an opportunity to show how a performer can influence the design of a concert from a creative perspective. He doesn't want this project to be just another addition to BTS's long list of accomplishments. He wants it to be a memorable milestone, something the industry will talk about and ARMY will remember as a pivotal point in their journey. See you in the next video, everyone.